Happy Memorial Day weekend, as it's known in Blackistan, and shoot 'em up, Charlie. Right along with the 4th of July, Labor Day, and any other time you give Negroes an extra day to sit around, they're gonna make their fellow citizens look like Swiss cheese. Let me do my shout outs. I hope y'all had a great week. Glad it's coming to an end. Me myself personally. What I sound like, y'all? I think I sound good. Okay, I sound good. So shout out to The Truth is the Truth Regardless. Libra Princess is here. I am the glitch. I am the glitch. There's a lot that can be said about that, but let's keep going. Alex is here. Pink is here. Gabriella McCullough's here. Yami C is in the building. Aisha Beans is in the building. Cosmetic Chic is in the building. Emma E. Donnie Frank. Sister Spring. Love Sun. Aaron. Bridge Burner. Miss Anonymous 23 is here. Oh, I see some new faces. Speaking of y'all, I see a couple of y'all down there that are on my Patreon, but you don't have a wrench. And I'm going to tell you why you don't have a wrench. Because you didn't send me your URL. So send me your URL in your Patreon inbox, and your name will appear in blue on this side. Now, you guys need to stay home this weekend. And I don't think I have to come up with a whole bunch of receipts to prove that. But let's just show some receipts. Okay? Share my screen. Y'all gonna be safe this weekend. Y'all not gonna get hurt on my watch. So, Memorial Day weekend in Blackistan. If you're from any of the capitals in Blackistan, because Blackistan has several capitals, one being Baltimore, one being Chicago, New York, Atlanta, Detroit, Los Angeles, some parts of there. Now Minneapolis is a main hub. There's a lot of Blackistan is the only country that has a ton of capitals. Okay. Well, I'm going to cover what's happened the last 5 Memorial Days in Blackistan, regardless of a pandemic, regardless of anything that's going on, regardless of police brutality, and it didn't stop Blackistan from doing what they do. Let's go backwards. This right here is May 26, 2020. It says, let me scroll down a little bit. 49 shot and 10 killed in alarming Memorial Day weekend violence. That's Chicago. You see the badge. Okay. Let's keep going. This was from 2019. Deadly Memorial Day party. Shooting leaves at least 10 hurt. Now, this is the mild version. Okay. This was in New York. But that same weekend in Chicago, 38 people got shot. Let's keep going. Moving right along to 2018. Memorial Day weekend in Chicago, 7 killed, 32 wounded by gunfire. This is a pattern. This wasn't just because it was Memorial Day. It's because it's Blackistan. Don't get that part fucked up. Let's move right along to 2017. 52. It's some folks that's lurking in here that ain't got $52. 52 people shot in Chicago Memorial Day weekend. Okay. That was May 30th, 2017. 2016. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm going to tell you something. Time for denial and playing the not all game, because on this weekend, on May 31st, 2016, Memorial Day weekend closes with 69 shots. I don't think that the people that got shot, the 69 of them, can do nothing with your statement talking about not all. They don't give a fuck about not all. Okay? 2015, and let me tell you why I stopped at 2015, because it's in relation to 2020. 29 shootings, 9 fatal Memorial Day weekend 2015. Now, 2020 was the bloodiest since 2015. So in other words, nothing is changing. Inside of those 5-6 years, there have been people that were children that are now adults that are looking at this same shit that we're looking at. So it would behoove you to stay your ass at the house. Okay? For one thing that confuses me about the folk in Blackistan, they claim that they're so oppressed, but they the party in this motherfuckers I ever seen in my life. They have more to celebrate than any of us do. Can someone make that make sense? Melanie Love, please jump up in here.
They are celebrating the struggle.
Oh, God.
They have nothing else going on. Too much time on their hands, nothing to live for. So let's just mask all of our problems with drinking, smoking, and talking about garbage. And we just gonna wing every day.
For the person on the banner, I'm not sure what's going on over there. Shout out to Miss Archduchess. I hope everything is going well with her. I don't know what's going on over there. But whatever somebody wants to say, they should have the right to say it, whether you agree with it or not. So Miss Archduchess needs her platform. I don't know what's going on over there. I really don't. But yeah, Melanie, I've never understood where the red cups, the barbecue ribs, the gin, the ice, and the little kids with the Capri Suns coming from. If you so oppressed, why are you celebrating? They're celebrating harder than any other group. And then when everybody's going to work on Tuesday, they still sitting on the porch trying to take care of that fucking hangover. I almost called it something else, but that'll get me in trouble. They trying to take care of that hangover. Trinity, jump in here, baby.
Yeah, like I they okay, well, how do I even start from here? Black people sit here and say, oh, we're so oppressed. The white man is holding us back. Yet y'all have you have this money to go down to the liquor store and get you like how many bottles? And, all of that adds up to hundreds of dollars too, or at least where I'm at. And, it's like, what are you celebrating? It's like, what can you possibly be celebrating? Y'all are so worried about partying, yet y'all aren't out here taking that same energy to try to go and get you a job.
Their job is to party. Their job is to party, make babies, make excuses, and then blame everybody else for everything. We were talking in a Discord today, and someone asked, why on earth would a mammy not take up for other black women in regards to these black men? It's because being pro black is about being pro black male. It's not about anything else. It's not about the kids, whether they're male or female, although the little boys get taken care of first. It's all about protecting him. She could be standing there with a traumatic brain injury caused by him. But if the police cuff him too tight after he whooped her ass, it's about the police officer that cuffed him too tight. It's sick, but that's what it is. Y'all need to stay your ass home. This weekend, 2021, is not going to be any different than any other weekend that Mammy's sons have provided. They've provided terrorism. They've provided violence. They provided fear, robberies, and for God's sakes, please don't have one of these niggas' babies this weekend. Please don't get pregnant with one of these, one of these folk, quote unquote. I'll just put it like that. On you, Melanie.
I was just gonna say, well, I think I told you earlier in relation to everything you're talking about. There was a pre-Memorial Day weekend festivity last night across town in one of the, bad neighborhoods, quote unquote. Well, it was three individuals that came up dead. They said it was like some people got into it. They were playing cards, doing the regular stuff that they do, and somebody pulled out a gun, got the shooting. I think four people got shot, but the three of them died.
Where was
And
this?
this was in Nashville. This was in one of I forgot which area it was, but I remember running across it on my app last night. This was like late last night. This was like at like 11 o'clock at night.
I remember when Nashville, when I was younger, used to be the dream place to go for people that wanted to be country singers and shit. And you mean to tell me that they've trashed that place too?
Well, not so much. But I mean, things here happen just like in any other city, but they can't cut up too hard here is what I'm trying to say. But when you do hear about them cutting up, they do cut up. And then it gets shut down real fast.
So Nashville PD is on a job, is what you saying.
We have pretty good police department. I have to brag on them. They're very good.
There's a video I wanted to show you guys. It's about Memorial Day last year. It was completely fucked up. And a guy that used to be on the police force. I'm gonna show y'all the first minute of it, and then I'll just let it play in the background on silent. He's going to repeat basically what I said concerning 2015 to 2020. 2020 Memorial Day weekend being the bloodiest weekend since 2015. And before I get that started, let me get one thing straight too. I don't want y'all to think that this is a 2000s phenomenon. Before some of y'all were born, they used to call little cities that are Blackistani stuff like Philadelphia for they have always been bad. This is not new. So anybody blaming it on the new generation, you need to cut it out, because when we was doing the Running Man back in the 90s, they was just as fucked up. Just as fucked up. But let me pull up Zaddy's video so we can get it popping. Trinity, before I get it started, you got anything to add, baby?
No, it's just that they're just degenerate. I mean, they play victim to everything. They sit here and they're scared of Zaddy, yet they have no problem with killing each other, then playing victim to that as well, blaming it on their mama why they act the way they act. The same old stuff.
I agree. This man's name, well, his channel's name is Bloody Chicago. He was able to get 80,000 subscribers just talking about the degeneracy in Chicago. Let's go.
This Memorial weekend in Chicago was the deadliest and most violent since 2015. Now, I spent 4 days in the streets covering it. And yes, it was as violent as the media reports claim. Check it out. This Memorial Day holiday is different than any other in our history because patriots that sacrificed for this country are seeing what they fought for fade away. This is my guy Sprite. He was Mad Joe News mascot for over 10 years. He passed away this March. And
they are so different.
He's going to be missed.
They are so different. I had to
put him up
say
here
that.
With Bailey. It's going to be my first year doing this without him waiting for me at home at night. Now it's time to do this. All shot up on Stony Island, and the car just hit a bus head on. We're heading over there now. Two people were injured when a car crashed into a CTA bus Friday after a gunman fired shots at a car in the Woodlawn neighborhood. A 27-year-old man was driving on the 6300 block of Ingleside when a man got out of a black Jeep Grand Cherokee and started shooting at his car. The shooter followed him and continued to fire at him down 63rd Street to Stony Island. The man hit a pole, then hit a parked bus at 62nd and Stony Island. The man then jumped out of his car to take cover from the gunshots, and his car was riddled with bullet holes. The man was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center in good condition with a bruised left arm. The bus driver, a 40-year-old woman, was taken to the hospital for observation. She was reported to be in good condition. No passengers were on board the bus at the time of the crash. Luckily, no one was hit by the gunfire, and the shooter is still at large.
Anyway, I'm gonna let him keep doing his thing in the back. Notice how who the victims were. They were older people, they were women, people not involved in gang shit. And their sons are terrorizing the fuck out of these streets. So it behoove y'all to stay your ass out the street. Biddy Boom Bo, welcome to the panel. What you got to add, baby?
How y'all doing?
Awesome.
I'm just shocked.
How are you?
Good. I'm shocked this happens over Memorial Day weekend. I don't even consider it a holiday. Like somebody had to tell me it was Memorial Day weekend. Like I didn't know people had barbecues. I didn't know people partied. I didn't know they shot up each other.
Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago, actually.
What?
But yeah. But I ain't been there in like 20 years.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say 3-day weekends are the devil's playground in Blackistan. Keep your kids out the street, keep your ass out the street because they throw bullets like goddamn confetti at a wedding in Blackistan during those 3-day weekends. Girl, it's a hot ass mess.
Oh, I know. And you know what? I used to think my mother was paranoid. And, I guess I'm one of the few people whose parents were already divested. And I used to what's crazy, look down on them for like, oh, y'all just hate black people. And what's sad, I was hard headed.
You know what
It
they
took
never
me a
say?
while.
The naysayers never say. They always say you hate black people, you hate yourself, you hate this, that, and the third.
Hmm.
What they never say is there's no shootings happening. What are you talking about?
Yep.
They never say that shit because they know what's happening. It's just, well, it's part of our culture, so you need to
It's
like
the
the
white man's
shooting.
fault.
It's
It's the
all
white
that
man's.
shit. It ain't
He
never their
gave
fault.
us guns, hypnotized us, brainwashed us, forced Tyrone to shoot everybody. It's obviously the white man's fault. We
Hopefully,
have no agency.
it gets a little quiet around here come June 1st because that'll be Pride Month. Welcome to the panel, Sanasta.
Hey, beautiful ladies. Hey, beautiful
Hey.
ladies. DZ, thank you so much for hosting this panel because it's always on time and it's legitimate. A lot of people probably didn't realize how much violence happens when the hard N words have time off of work to use their baby mothers, sisters, mothers, aunts, cousins, girlfriends, EBT cards to go buy food and rob people, scam them out of their money to use at the club with their costume jewelry. It's just a lot that goes on. And I don't think people probably made the connection that when a bunch of hard ER words get together, it's violence. And I appreciate you for having this panel to just educate the masses.
Of course, they see it, right? They see this shit. They're just going to continue to ignore it. But one thing you forgot on there, Sanasta, was the fact that they're going to make 11 and 12 and 13-year-old girls feel uncomfortable and cringeworthy because they're trying to go and get a bag of chips and they're going to tell them how fine they are. That's something that happens in Blackistan too.
And
Okay.
the M word, that we will not speak of because, those young girls should have been fast and should have put some clothes on around these hard ER words. But it needs to be exposed because there's a lot of people who probably just didn't make the connection that when it gets warm out, they get, excited. Or when there's a social gathering, they get rowdy. And this is definitely needed.
I appreciate that. I don't want to see any of you on any of these newspapers because I was telling somebody in the Discord, y'all, imagine you being subscribed to me and you got all this shit on your device saying that Blackistan is this, Dusties are this and this, that, and the third. They see all of this in your device, but you go get fucked up by a Dusty. Come on now, that's gonna be embarrassing. So stay your ass from out there. That's gonna be embarrassing to both me and you. Stay
But
your ass out
DZ, yo,
there.
I like that macaroni and cheese, and I like the baked beans, and I like that ribs, and I like that pork. I mean, where am I gonna get my food from? Like, can you not be a hater, please?
I'll try not to hate. I'll try not to hate on the fact that everything that you buy as far as food has to be cold because the government said that you can't buy hot food on food stamps. I'm hating on that because I like my food ice cold. I'm hating on the fact that your baby daddy can't get caught in your house because you told the state that you make under $1,000 a month and that it was a it was a three-person household. Okay, I'm hating my ass off.
You don't like black love, okay? Stop hating on black love, okay? I don't care if I have BV every day, all day. It doesn't matter. That's just a side effect of me loving my black king, okay? Stop hating.
Oh boy, you need a tissue for your coochie because it's knotting up, but I'm hating. Really?
Doesn't everyone do that? Like, that's normal. It's normal for our twats to smell like dookie. What are you talking about?
Well, Tyrone said it does. That's what he
And
said. That's one of the things he hates about you.
Tyrone is a black king, okay? If you can't respect my black son, then you need to get your life together.
Y'all, word up. This girl is off the chain. Off the damn chain. We was in the Discord damn near in tears last night. Not out of laughter, but out of anxiety because we don't want anything to happen to y'all. If you sitting on the fence, get off that fence. Make Memorial Day your anniversary of divestment or some shit. Do whatever you got to do, but please stay safe out there, y'all. What you're looking at on the screen right now, that's Larry Hoover. Okay. If y'all are interested in that video, the information is in the description box. He pretty much went off on Blackistan in a very politically correct way, but it's very informative. Very informative. It's on you, Trinity.
Yeah, Blackistan, it's a crazy place to be in. I encourage you all to like just stay away from, just stay at home. Tell your family members stay at home because they don't care. They're gonna shoot you. It doesn't matter if you look like them. It doesn't matter if you're related to them. Once they're drunk, yeah, it's over with. They're yeah, y'all already know how they act.
Well, everybody at the party, from what Blackistan says, is being phony anyway. Don't get your hair done and all this shit to go up against Blackistan with them being fake and everything. You don't want to be there, so just tell them you don't want to be there. All that shit is phony as hell.
Well, Trinity, first of all, let me educate you from a black queen to another black queen, okay? If you don't respect the black community and go out and associate with the black kings of society, you are a traitor and a hashtag bedwench, okay? Foundational Black America Forever. Peace out.
Hell no. Sanasta, you do that shit way too goddamn good. I got to side eye you, girl. You know all
hell no.
You know all the talking points.
Because I'll be watching these motherfucking R words. I don't want to get anyone, offended, the special needs people. I'll be watching them on social media talk about that, and I'm like, wow, you're the sperm that won. How pathetic.
Hell no. But can y'all name a weekend that's not unsafe, that is safe around Blackistan? Can y'all please do that? Because even when it's not a 3-day weekend, it's kind of fucked up around there. I have a lot of material. We could literally go live every goddamn day talking about this shit.
They act up on Christmas and Thanksgiving too.
Ain't bought a goddamn thing but cutting the damn fool.
Halloween too.
They out there with the children at that point. They out there with the children because the Blackistan is full of pedophiles.
And they have the most children. I don't understand.
Who, pedophiles?
Well, that's just Blackistan, period.
Fun fact.
Go ahead, honey.
Fun but very sad fact. About all of the black births in Blackistan, it comes from about 15 to 20% of the black male population.
They lying.
That's
they lying. They full of shit. They want to make it seem like all these niggas ain't impregnating folks. More of them have children. They claim that only 10% of them or 15% of them actually have children. That's a lie. Because when you listen to any of their shit, all the motherfuckers on child support. So how you on child support and you are without child, sir?
You hard pressed to find one that's childless. I would say that I don't think I've met one that was, as I was growing up and being an adult, I don't think I've met one that was childless.
There's not one black male in my family that doesn't have at least one child. Not one, unless he's a minor. And then you got to consider my 14-year-old cousin. He has a newborn. So they full of shit on that. And the little girl is 12.
I used to work with a guy that had 22 children.
What?
He had 22 children. They were from the age of newborn to 20 to like 22. Because he was like in his 40s and he had 22 children.
Oh my God. The Cialis is working. They put more money into erectile dysfunction research than they do into women dying during childbirth. Did y'all know that?
What?
Yes.
Yep.
They put more money in research to make sure these niggas and whoever else dick can get hard than they do in research on infant death and women dying during childbirth. That's a fact. So
everything's all about them getting their rocks off, huh?
And looking at your cousin with all them goddamn kids, it's working. It's working. The truth is the truth, regardless. That they should be sterilized, and I agree. It's been done before in other countries where they've done sex selective abortions, and they also put it to where if you have certain criminal history, that they're gonna take your baby making tools up out your gut.
They used to
But
do that back in the South and back in the olden times. People who were mentally or physically handicapped, and people used to think they were all fucked up. But looking back at it now, like what 100 years later, yeah, they were onto something.
What country was that?
This is in the South, like Mississippi.
Oh, it was in America. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, what was it? The Tuskegee syphilis experiment? That actually happened because there was a lot of young girls, 12 to 14, that were getting pregnant and having babies that turned up blind because they had syphilis and they were passing it on to syphilis. Now, what is a 12 and 14-year-old girl doing having sex? Obviously, it was these men are wording them, right?
Of
So what?
course.
So white daddy swooped in, sterilized a lot of these motherfuckers, and later on, the history books made it seem like they were purposely injecting syphilis into these black males, and purposely trying to curb the population. But there was a portion of the history book was not talked about how these black males were like running loose on these young girls and then causing a generation of children to grow up with handicaps.
That's what I mean. They only focus on the fact that the government, i.e., Zaddy, i.e., the white man, was fucking them over. It wasn't about what was going on with the children. There's no way on earth that a child that is 12 years old has syphilis without having been touched inappropriately. Whew, that was hard because y'all know I talk a little bit more nasty than that. That
they're
was hard.
oppressed, right? But they're oppressed though. Yet they have time to run around and cause even more harm to other people who look like them in their community. Like, when will black women even like realize that most of the problems that you have does not come from white people, specifically white men? Because when you look throughout, black neighborhoods, aka the hood, black men have more like, they're closer to you, than they have more access to you. So when we talk about we talk about we just talk about abuse, mental, and all of that stuff, and not being able to get a job in your own neighborhood because it's dangerous. Yeah, that comes from the black males in the black community. Like, most of our problems are because of black males, and because black males they're choosing not to do better for themselves. I just don't understand how you're sitting up here saying that, oh, well, black men act the way they act because of the white men and white supremacy. So you mean to tell me that you're this weak-minded that you can't see right through it and try to do better for yourself and your community? You mean to tell me it's that hard to just go to school, get your education, get a good job, make enough money to invest in your own community? Yet y'all can go out here and become rappers and all this other stuff and Instagram models and go to the Gucci store, although while complaining that same said Gucci store is out here racially profiling you, aka cough cough Ti. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
shit. Call
you
them out, Trinity.
you know what I'm saying? Like, this is why no one takes us serious. I don't take black people serious, and I haven't took us serious for over a little bit over a year now. I don't take y'all serious because you're complaining in one breath about racism and systematic. You have all these rappers and fake wokes, the fake leaders of this community, the wannabe Martin Luther Kings, out here talking about racism and the injustices, while you're going to these same said stores and restaurants. Y'all would support these European restaurants before each other, but then complain that there's no generational wealth. Well, yeah, that's your fault. The reason why there's no generational wealth. Y'all aren't doing anything to better your own community. Y'all sit here and y'all talk about how the white man is just so bad, evil, this and that. Black men, listen up, because I'm talking to you guys. You sit here and you complain about how the white man is so bad, yet you're getting mad at Goldman Sachs because he's investing in black women. You know what I'm saying? But y'all sit here and you say how white men are just this and that, yet in the same breath you want him to give you money. Get out of here with all that.
Man, listen, Trinity. Trinity is going to be. Listen, you got to start you a channel, Trinity, because you are way too young to know as much as you do. That girl is the truth. Welcome to the panel, Rose Love. Good to see you.
What's going on, y'all? How are y'all doing? It's been a while. It's been a
We're
while.
trying to keep sisters out of the streets right now, going to get barbecue chicken, and Gloctavia sitting there waiting for her to say something he don't like, which is anything that comes out of her mouth, and then he gonna shoot up the
Right?
block, shoot up the damn
Ex-
block.
My ass is staying at home. I ain't going nowhere. I live in a white neighborhood, so I don't have to worry about that. Because they'll shoot them niggas. They come out here.
You just
They
gave
don't play that.
you just gave 5 hoteps a simultaneous heart attack. But they violent too.
No,
Child.
they're not. They're actually pretty quiet here. And I live on a street where there's a lot of old white people, so they don't play that. They'll straight up call 911.
I
They'll
was
have them white cops right down here.
saying earlier, listen, I am not concerned this weekend of no car full of white boys having a gang fight with another car full of white boys and kids getting caught in the middle. I'm not even concerned about that. And please stop pretending like they do the same shit y'all do. It's different. It's different. I heard one weirdo say, next time somebody say that white men don't do it, tell them that they're doing chemtrails and shit. Girl, chemtrails compared to gang violence. If you don't have several seats, I know something. Welcome to the panel, Lady June. Welcome to the panel, Arminti, the writer.
Hey, lady. How are you?
Hey, I'm awesome. Speak on it, sis.
I actually just joined. I happened to see that you were live, and I've been kind of binging some of your videos the past few days, and I've been in the divested community, as you say, for quite some time. But your videos have been very interesting, and it awakened me to a few things that I didn't really understand or consider before. So I'm just glad to be here and be a part of this.
I'm glad you're here. Anybody that's here right now, if you go through my old lives, right, and you've heard me personally say anything that was a lie on anybody I've spoken on, I'll pay your cell phone bill for June. So go find the minute mark where I lied on somebody, because they saying that some of this content is offensive. And when you're getting offended by facts, you got a whole nother set of problems that you got to worry about other than somebody talking crap about black men. If you get offended by the facts, you need to change the facts. Tell your ugly baby daddy to stop kicking your ass, to help you with the baby, to stop beating down the block, to stop poisoning the block, stop being a perpetual victim. Tell them to stop doing that. Then you can get the facts changed, and then you
Tell
can
them to
come
get
back.
an education and a job while they at it.
Right. Then you could come back and say, Divesta Zealot, guess what? What you said back in March is no longer true. We changed the facts, and I'll take all that shit down. Challenge on. Anyway, Gold Digger is here. Hold on. Welcome to the panel, Gold Digger. Hello. You didn't get sucked up by the Memorial Day monster, did you? Her and Lady Jew ain't saying shit.
It must be a delay.
Got to be. And I see both of them on mute.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Okay, let's try to get this. Hold on. Aisha, welcome to the panel.
Hi, DZ. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. There are two universal truths about Tyrones and about apes. That first universal truth is that they can't aim for shit, which is why they're always hitting their mamas and the babies and the kids. The second universal truth is that they absolutely will shoot into a crowd that's filled with women and children just to get that other ape that they're trying to kill, and they will not care about it. So those are the two universal truths. They can't aim, and they'll shoot into a crowd of women and children. So if you were planning on going out this weekend, don't fly out the country instead. Don't fly to a place where apes are going to go. That's it for me.
It's been true forever. I swear
Down
to
in Florida, stay out of there. Don't go down to Florida because that's where they're going to be at for the Memorial Weekend. I'm just waiting for them white folks to be calling the police on them like they did last time.
Well, if one of them gets smacked with one of them guns, there'll be a march scheduled. So, and then I'm going to clown you at the march because I told you not to go. I'm just keeping it real with you. It is what it is. Hold
Can
up.
you hear me?
Gold Digger, can we hear you now?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. Oh, sorry for interrupting.
No, you all good. Go ahead.
Yeah. I listen to you all the time. I'm actually from the Caribbean, and I was just gonna say like we have holidays here as well, and like the same thing happens. Like literally, like women and girls get shut up all the time at the holidays. Like even like some of the festivals there, I don't go to them because they're very dangerous. And
What
it's
part of the
like
Caribbean are you from?
I'm originally from Saint Lucia, but I live in Grenada.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah. And I've been to like most of them, and that's honestly how they are. Like the Caribbean countries that I've been to, they're dominantly African descent, and yeah, it's like it's horrible. Like a lot of women don't even go to like the festivals, like crop over and these things. I go to it, but I don't participate because it's just like very dangerous here.
Yeah, at some point you got to stop going out there too, because like the caller was speaking earlier, the bullets don't have any names and they don't have any aim. They just come out, and whoever get hit with one, they get hit with one. Welcome back,
Yeah, it's
Shanaza.
true. Yeah, and what they're also doing here is that like when they kind of do the same thing like in America. They try to stop black women from dating white men because a lot of women here we don't care. We date who we want. Like we date white man, Asian man. We date whatever we want. And like I feel like we've been getting away from like birthing them a long time because like they've been complaining that our birth rate is very low, but it's because we're smartening up and we're not doing that anymore.
You know how
So
many
like
accents, how many different accents have been up here? That's another receipt. That's a
yeah,
receipt that they are all like this. I don't care if you go to
All
outside of
parts
America.
of even in Africa, they just as bad. They're if not worse in Africa, from what I heard from some of the African sisters out there. They said they're hella worse out there. So no, stay away from all of them. Every
yeah,
single one of
Africa's
them.
horrible. Africa's horrible. I feel like they just try to make it seem like it's this big thing because like all black love and Wakanda, but yeah, it's horrible. I feel like any place where there's like a total like Negro population, yeah, it's
Mhm.
gonna be a lot of problems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nobody wants to admit that, because honestly, it sounds horrible, but it's the truth. And when it's the truth, there's nothing you can do about it. If you get offended, again, if you get offended by facts, then you are the one with the problem, or
yeah,
you need to change the facts. And
yeah, it's true.
none of this stomping the yard and marching and protesting is going to change any of that. After you come back out from your march, after telling 55 police that Tyrone life matter, Tyrone is going to ask you for some money and probably put his Timberland so far up your ass that your throat is going to smell like rubber.
Yeah. Oh, it's a big thing here. Like a lot of, I'm actually 22, and I am gonna say like a lot of older women try to like force their sons on us, because a lot of young women here are starting businesses and it's different kind of businesses, and we're trying to better our lives. But then like a lot of older women try to get us to date their sons, knowing that their son literally isn't doing anything. They're big coddlers, and yeah, it's like the same thing in America, honestly.
Yeah.
It's no different. It's just a different territory, but it's the same thing, honestly.
Hey DZ, was this recently that happened in Chicago?
This right here, what you're seeing is everything that happened on Memorial Day weekend 2020. Now, y'all have to remember,
Oh
while
my
all of this
God.
was going on, everybody was in the middle of this pandemic. And the pandemic did not slow the violence, it actually increased it. It sped it up. It hadn't been that violent in Chicago since 2015. So, if a killer pandemic is not going to stop them from doing what they do, then you and your sign with your fists up ain't doing shit, sis. Please have several seats. Please and thank you.
If
Yeah,
any,
that actually remind. Oh, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If anything, it's enabling it because what they're doing is with these mammies that go to these protests, they're not out here trying to correct these men who are doing this. They're out here fighting the police who was fighting you. So if anything, they see it as a way of, oh, okay, he's correcting them. They ain't correcting me, so I'm gonna keep doing it. That's how they see it. So you can go, sir.
Okay. Yeah, because that the same incident like that happened out there in L.A. Where they went and party down there in Compton, and all that shooting went down there in Compton. And they started shooting up at that block party down there. I think that was last year also.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the panel, Dr. Neff. I know you fixing to preach a word, so hit it.
Hey, one of the things I wanted to say to piggyback on what you said, and I think it was the most important part of the whole scenario. Y'all know I don't like giving niggas too much of my time, but you talked about changing the facts, right? And I think that that's where we have to. That's my thing. If you're not going to change the reality, then you need to be quiet about it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
At the very least, be quiet about the reality, right? Nobody
Mhm.
is ever going to debate the facts with you, DZ. Because when you debate the facts, you end up at a dead end really quickly. When
It's
you
true.
say these are the things that are happening, the end result is, damn, that's correct, and it hasn't been fixed in hundreds of years,
You know
right?
what mammies do when you get to that inroad, they say, but that's our culture. Even though that's happening, isn't white supremacy still a thing? They start that shit. They start
I
the
was called
deflection.
racist yesterday. I said I had anti-black views about black men, and I'm gonna tell you what it was. A guy that said, and a woman that they try all this psychological stuff. I said, no, my views are not anti-racist or anti-black views. They're pro accountability, pro safety, and pro respectability for black women. So if me being pro myself means I'm anti-black man, then I'm by all means I'm okay with that. If
Period.
I'm going to be alive, safe, and healthy and wealthy, because we spend so much of our time as black women oscillating around survival, right? That is not normal. To survive is to do the bare minimum, okay? To
Facts.
survive is to do the bare minimum. When you are in survival mode, your cortisol is high, your risk of obesity is increased, your adrenaline is high, your blood pressure is high, your risk of stroke. All of those things are high. When you get out of survival mode and you are living above and in wealth and abundance and in pleasure, all of that other shit goes away. So my goal, my daughter in the background going ham.
It's
Cause
all good.
because she having fun. She ain't oppressed. Ain't no nigga here oppressing her. She get to be free and yell and do shit and jump off shit and do what the fuck she want to do because she free. She live free. She live a free life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have that, and I had deer and shit was in my backyard eating on moringa trees and shit. So anyway, when you have that to look forward to, because you know what the reality is. Like, I'm not sitting up here trying to create another reality no more. See, these black women that have these excuses, and I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. We are all people that are students of history. We can read books. We know what was going on back in different periods of history. But even in that, your ancestors didn't let that stop them. If racism existed in a time where people were getting lynched, people still went to school and got PhDs and doctorates and created things. Black people that
It's a
didn't have
fact.
anything. So if that is the case, racism didn't stop your ancestors from making it. So then
It's
we
a
can't.
crutch. You
Right.
can't remove their crutch.
Right. So at that point, let's look at our own history and our own ancestors for the answers. You have people who have come through in history. We ignore people. They like to mention and quote this shit all the time, but don't never motherfucking do nothing about it. Like to quote Malcolm X and talk about the black woman being the least protected, most disrespected. He
They
said
like that quote, but they don't give a fuck about that. They're pandering
that
when they use that.
that part. It becomes just a catchphrase, like just do it. Or you got the right one, baby, or Coca-Cola or some shit. It just becomes
Uh-huh.
a branding thing to say. But okay, so that is a fact. It is true. Now, what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about the black woman being the least protected, most disrespected? What are we going to do about that? First of all, let's talk about the community where she is disrespected the most and least protected the most. It is amongst black men.
Yep.
And I had this conversation with a Babalawo today when we're talking about spiritual stuff. My father taught me that the most dangerous sector of the black community was black men. He taught me that. A black man taught me you niggas ain't nothing. So it's like
They
the
get caught
consent.
up in that quandary when they see other black men saying it. It's like, oh shit, what do I say now?
You can't say nothing because they know, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the black men that are saying it, most of them got daughters, and they know. Most of the ones that have told me that they keep guns with them, and they got daughters. You know what they teach their daughters? Don't give a nigga an inch. That nigga gonna run you ragged if you give him an inch. Keep your foot. My daddy used to say, "If TD, keep your foot on his neck, and you don't stop pressing till you hear a crack." And that is what has gotten me to this point. That's what got me my doctorate. That's what got me no babies till I was in my mid-30s. That's what got me my property. So I ain't listening to what you got to say. You can't run nothing here. You can't run your own life, your own community. So you can't run nothing where I'm at. And
Let me
so
see if Lady Jew mic working yet. Lady Jew, you ready yet, sis?
Oh yeah, I just muted myself because I don't like to create echoes or anything.
no, go in. I'm gonna put myself on mute. Go ahead.
Just kind of piggybacking off of what the other lady said. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on. It's been obvious since we got to this land. It's just that a lot of us were in denial, or it's what do they call it? Stockholm syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what the community has become. It's dysfunctional.
Depending on the Hotep camp that you come from, either we were brought here or we were here beforehand. And either way, you got conquered, whether you was here first or whether you were brought here. Both of them required a little submissive men. That's exactly what happened. So saying that we were here first does nothing for your current condition. And I don't want to hear another goddamn word about them pyramids. You hear me? If I hear another word about a fucking pyramid, I think I'm going to jump off a bridge.
It's embarrassing when you say you were here first. It's like, well, bitch, if you was here first and you still fucked up in the game, well, goddamn. You know, that is saying I was here last might be a better case.
Welcome to the panel, Cha-Cha girl.
Hey everyone. Hi everyone.
Hey.
I just came to add in, we're doing the work daily, bringing awareness, and we are at 541 and it is climbing. It's not slowing down. We're not even in June yet. And we are getting more support. We had Paris Milan share our post and bring some awareness, and but we're still getting some pushback. Today there was a black woman, male identified woman, whatever, and because my hashtag was shoot these niggas, because I mean shoot these niggas. I don't care who does it. I don't care. Shoot these niggas because they'll shoot you. She said she was triggered because she has a black son, and I'm like, listen, I have 3 black sons.
Where was
but
this?
They don't.
What platform was this?
This is on the Black Femicide Instagram page.
Oh, okay.
And she said she was triggered because she doesn't like that because she has a black son. I said, when they out here shooting you, they will shoot you and me and don't care that they have a black daughter, a black mama, a black granny, a black sister. They don't care about none of that. And then she goes on a tangent about the police and all. Girl, listen, take that to Black Lives Matter. We don't do that over here. We are dealing with black women and black girls in our safety. If you want to worry about black males, that's a Black Lives Matter thing. That ain't a black femicide. The name isn't Black Femicide.
Yeah, I'm aware of her channel. It's pretty dope. She does a lot of work over there.
Well, yeah, it's 3 of us. And so in October, we're holding a march in Atlanta for black women and black girls. We've been getting some support for some vendors, some black women vendors and things like that. And really, we've been reaching out to a lot of Democrats, and they're not.
When is the date for the event?
We are
Do
looking
y'all hear that sound in the back? That
I do. I hear it.
Sound? I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah.
But
we are looking at the first weekend in October, but we want to make sure we have all the permits, everything that we need. So I'll keep you guys updated. And again, so June is my birthday month. So every week in June, I will be giving away self-defense bundles on the Black Femicide Facebook and Instagram page. So you guys go ahead and follow. Hopefully you can get it, because I know everyone can't own a gun, but we want to get everybody where they can defend themselves. But
I support with money. I don't do no marching. I mean,
yeah,
I'll be sitting down looking
What?
like, where's my vape and where do I donate? Because I ain't walking nowhere, girl.
right. Well, it's a march, it's a rally, whatever you want to call it, but it'll just be for Black women and Black girls. And we've reached out to Democrats, and they haven't been interested. So you know what side we going to, and I don't want to hear nothing when Candace Owens starts, saying stuff and Black folks get upset, because this is we're at 541. I don't think people understand that. And a lot of these are domestic violence, mass shooting. We had a mass shooting last weekend in Jersey City, I believe it was, where he shot 15 people. A Black woman died and a Black man died. We have a lot of mass shootings, and nobody wants to talk about it unless the shooter is white.
That's a
But
fact.
it's a lot of Black men doing a lot of mass shootings, and we end up the victim.
Well, there's probably one happening right now. Knowing them, with it
Yep.
being close to 6 p.m., somebody
Yep.
is suffering at their hands at this very damn moment that we're speaking.
I want to tell you a quick story, and then I don't want to take over your panel, but in March we had a situation where a Black man had killed his sister at the family funeral home business, right? And then he was chasing the other sister when the police rolled up, because they got a call about shots fired. The police shielded her from her brother. Listen to me. I want you to listen to me. So they negotiate with him. They arrest him without incident, unfortunately. I go to the sisters page because I like to have updated pictures of the suspect, the perpetrator, and the victim. The sister that survived, that he was shooting at, she makes a post and says, it wasn't anything that serious that a conversation couldn't be had. I love my brother and sister. You still love this dude that killed your other sister and would have killed you if the police didn't show up.
They all that matter. That's all that matters in that community. It's hard to believe for a lot of them, but they are all that matters. They can come in and slaughter 15 women. If that boy breaks his nail, all hell break loose. Okay?
I couldn't believe it. I said he done chased you down. He was gonna take you from your family like he did your sister, y'all sister. And you still love him? Girl, no. I'll be sitting on the state side when the trial happened. I want him to fry. Give him the
That's
check.
what happens in this culture, though. It's
Yeah.
being constantly perpetuated to always forgive. And
Yep.
I remember DZ was talking about on a few other videos about religion, how they play that into that, where they get the forgive no matter what type of stance.
Right.
And if they actually read what was in their Bibles, they would see that that's not the case, because you always had to pay reparation for whatever wrong you did.
Right.
You'll see a group of people that know that a Black woman just got hurt, and they'll feign sympathy and this, that, and the third. I'm talking about physically hurt. She got physically hurt. Then on the flip side, if somebody at a white business says something quote unquote racist to a Tyrone, a whole march with, he doesn't even have to get hurt. Just say something.
You see what happened at Starbucks? I said they were calmly arrested, but look what happened to the Black woman at Waffle House a month later. And y'all still talking about what happened at Starbucks.
Maya, welcome to the panel, hun.
I'm gonna let y'all go, but I'll keep y'all updated. If you can attend, just share it and just visit Black Femicide, and you guys be safe, okay?
Before you go, write it in the comment section so I can put it on the screen, please.
Okay, absolutely.
Thank you for coming up.
You're welcome.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, so just like on what you guys are just talking about, Right now I'm only 15. My birthday is in September.
Oh, hey, baby. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm good. So I am Gen Z. I am pretty young.
Yes, you
And
are. I have
um
bras that are older than you, ma'am. That's the
um,
real talk.
so I want to talk about what you guys just said because the culture part,
Hmm.
because I definitely think that my generation definitely contributes to this. Um like I know there's like a lot of stigma around certain words, and people are just becoming so sensitive, and I think just the best way to combat this is so that we have more open spaces that are just for us, like how there's like the black love show where it's really just black men loving on other women. Like we should have our own spaces publicly, not just privately,
I'm
so
gonna get with
that
Trinity because that is a great idea. Trinity's young too, and we need some divested juniors around here where it's not so much cussing because I can't control my mouth. I can't. I've tried. I'm still a work in progress, but that's a great idea to have a smaller space for younger divestors. So y'all can spread the word because once we get too old, people start accusing us of being bitter, and
yeah.
because for some reason even being married for 26 years with my Brad, okay, who pays all
Yeah.
my bills. Somehow I'm still bitter because I'm talking about this. So it'll sound better coming from somebody their age, I'm guessing. We can only
Mhm.
test it, but that's a great idea.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
bitter too. No, they do. It doesn't matter how old we are. They call us bitter too. They say,
Really?
yeah, they call us bitter too. Oh, that's why you ain't got a man. This is why you ain't got a man because you don't want to go 50-50. They say that
Yeah.
They
too.
don't even have any bills. What 15-year-old, what you gonna go 50-50 with him on? Some bubble gum? I mean, come on. They already raggedy, y'all. They
Yeah,
already raggedy.
I've definitely I live in Texas, so I live in a mostly Hispanic area, but there is a lot of black kids that go to my school, and there has been conversations. We have this one teacher, and she's a black woman, and we do have certain open conversations, and you can really hear the cultural difference between the Hispanic boys and what they believe in and the black boys and what they believe in. So we once came on a topic on marriage, and it wasn't like a really serious topic, but there's this boy and he had a girlfriend, and he was talking about taking a break in a relationship and woo. So we came on marriage, and a lot of the Hispanic boys were saying that a year is enough to know whether or not you want to get married, and that you don't need to be in just like this imaginary intimate experience with a person to know that you want to marry them. When you know you want to marry someone, you want to marry them. However, the black boys were saying they were more on, oh, that's too short of a time. You have to get to know a person, and you don't know what they might do to you after they have your babies, and this and that. And the teacher, she was sort of regulating the argument, and I'm the only black girl in the class, and there's another Hispanic girl in the class. So the Hispanic girl is like, oh, well, in my culture, we become young women at 15, and we get married by like 22, somewhere around there. And the black boys were just like, they were like saying, oh, that's too young. Y'all are crazy. And it was a really interesting
Yeah,
experience.
they have a very, very different household. 9 times out of 10, the baby Octavius came from a very toxic environment. He shares his last name with his mother, okay? Not his father. He has his mother's last name. So his stance on marriage is going to be completely different than anybody else's because their households are unique, they're toxic, and they're very, very, very dangerous. And don't let them disarm you because you're a minor. Minor ashies, they're very dangerous too. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back, Sanasta. Trinity, it's on you, baby girl.
Hey, ladies. I don't know what was going on. I just kept getting kicked off, but I wanted to touch on a couple things. One of the commenters, huh?
Nobody's talking, girl. You talk. I think you got a delay, Sanasta. I do.
So, what I was saying, I think there was a delay or something, but
It
what I was
was.
saying, yeah, what I was saying was, like some people were talking about the church. If you read the Bible, it talks about women being completely docile and submissive. So the Bible is very toxic and damaging for any woman of any community. And then
And you know,
secondly, within the Black community, most Black people don't read the Bible. You go to a church where there's a Black man telling Black men how to keep their Black women dominated and submissive. So at the crux of the Black community or Blackistan's issues is a Black church. You know, if we got rid of a lot of the Black church, a lot of our issues would like go away. And then
instantly.
almost overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing that was mentioned was in reference to like how Black men, you know, they don't take responsibility for their actions. And it's because, like, again, with the Black church, we're not asking them to take responsibility for their actions. No other community, every other community has men. The Black community has individuals who own penises. They're not men.
That's the
They
fact.
just have penises and they're pretty pampered princesses. And just like we were when we were young girls and we were toddlers, we didn't get our way. What did we do? We yelled, screamed, and cried. And we said, "You hurt me." And that's what Black men do. Whenever, if you just change your mind focus and stop thinking of them as males, but individuals with penises that behave like pampered pretty princesses, preferably the age of toddlers, all of their behavior starts to make sense. You won't get mad anymore. You just be like, well, little dum dum doesn't know any better. Little dum dum should have been
They
aborted.
still dress like children too. They all, even though they're not an athlete, they all walk around dressed like athletes. That's how little kids dress, with a whole bunch of colors. Boy, you are 28 years old. It's time to find an earth tone because you're around here looking like you getting ready to go to your quinceanera around this bitch, dressing like a child. Welcome to the panel, dark gentlewoman.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Hit us with the face.
Okay, all right. Well, I wanted to let you know, to talk about the civil rights movement and how basically it's a failed community. It's a failed community. We gotta, and you know, the more I studied it, the more I was just like, man, they were just fighting for access, you know, to, you know, white women. And it's just like, okay, fine, you got it. At the same time, they let the communities burn. You know,
Yep.
I mean, Black Wall Street, yes, it was destroyed in the 20s, but if you're a student of history, there were a lot of communities that were destroyed, you know, overseas. There were, you know, there I mean, there's so many immigrants that came over here because their communities were destroyed. Okay, there are communities that were destroyed here. Guess what? They rebuilt, and
Yep.
instead of rebuilding in 1960, they chose to retreat. Now they're mad that Goldman Sachs is giving us money. Well, guess what? In the 1970s, there were major corporations giving them money. Late 60s, early 70s. What did they do? They started businesses. They started civil rights organizations. Because let's keep it 100. That's a business with very few people getting paid at the top and poor foot soldiers being volunteers. Okay. The thing is, I am so glad that Black women are waking up and are like, nope, 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 not doing this anymore. Okay. Not doing this anymore at all. So my thing is, and to address somebody who had who asked the question, yes, MLK did have a white girlfriend,
He sure
and
did.
yeah, at college he had a white girlfriend. And the thing is, it's just like, yeah, you know, all of them did. Okay, all of them did. And that's the thing. It's just like it's time that we basically just do what we need to do. And I live in Chicago. Okay, and but I live in a white neighborhood, so I'm good. But the thing is, it's just like I need black women to know, especially um because I'm Gen X. I think you're are you a Gen Xer?
I am. I
TZ?
am.
Oh,
Yes.
great, great. Yeah, okay. So you know, see, here's the thing for because there's a lot of Gen X's that maybe are still on the fence or mammies or whatever. And it's just like, honey, you need to get off the fence. It's never too late to get baptized, as you say.
Yes, in the
It's
name
not
of the dusty, the
right.
ashy, and the
It
holy
is
broke.
exactly. I mean, here's the thing. I say this on other divested and pro black women, pro dark skinned women channels. Look, you need to go abroad. You need to do the best for you. You need to live in the neighborhood that is safest for you. Okay, and because they do it, they don't come back. How is
Mm-mm.
it? See, and let me put you on some
Unless they go
pathology
bankrupt.
here. Right. Let me put you on some pathology here about this whole athlete worship and everything. What group of people let their successful people leave without bringing something tangible back to the community? You don't see that with European Jews. You don't see that with Latinos. You don't see that with other ethnic groups. Okay. Other ethnic groups in this country always have something. They have institutions, they build schools, hospitals, businesses that last several generations. Okay,
Hmm.
where now some athletes do some things, a few, you got a few, okay,
It's a
but for the
tax
most
write off. It's a tax. If it's a dude that's black, it's a tax write off. He don't give a damn.
right, but the thing is, it's like how is it that the men they worship haven't even started to build Black Wall Street back? How is
No.
it? And they don't even have to. Let's take the athletes and everything out of it. How about 100 men get together and do something?
They
There's
can't.
all
They're
sorts of.
incapable.
The thing is that other groups have collective what they call collective investment, like informal investment. Susus, or I think that's the African term, and then tanda is like a Latino term. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's how those communities do it. And I propose that divested black women, we support our own stuff. Let's support our
Yeah,
own stuff. Let's
of
support our own
course.
stuff, because the thing is they don't get it. And the thing is, they're always waiting for a black woman to make it and hop on her success. No, get off her dang tail. Get off her dang tail.
See, I don't.
Right. See, and my thing is this. I'm gonna let you finish. Hold on. But my thing is this. I know that even the quote unquote so called good ones, they have no initiative. They have no drive. It's like it's dead. It's they're just waiting for some woman to pick them. It's like, honey, it's not gonna happen. Build something. That's how you get a woman. you know but I'm done. Y'all talk.
That's why you have to completely
Oh,
divest away from the community, the black community as a whole. When I divested, I really divested. I left completely. I went to the Jewish community and converted. So I would
Right.
no longer have to like deal with any of that, and I moved as far away as I could away from particularly other black people, other black males, because I would love being around black women, but I know that there's some um, that they call mammies that have that mindset that they're going to bring along their degenerate sons and
Yes,
husbands and whatnot. So I just cut it off altogether. And I mean, I hate it to have to do that, but unless it was a
I
woman
didn't.
that had the same mindset as myself, then I just had to cut it off altogether and just kind of treat them with a distance.
At this point,
yeah. I'll
if
go
you're
ahead.
still thinking that you're going to be able to somehow change these dustings, I propose to you that you look like a 17-year-old child that still believes in Santa Claus. I'm serious.
That
Exactly.
You're
that
looking like you are delayed a little bit because there you have no evidence, no receipts, or no. innuendo even given by them that they're going to change
and
anything.
and,
They
and
have it
at
too
this
good.
and at this point, they even said it themselves. They don't care. They don't want to build anything. They don't want to
Hmm.
do anything. They really don't care anymore. So it's just time for us to move on and leave them behind and start worrying
Absolutely.
about ourselves because they don't care. I've even heard like them say that they want to just kill us off, like
Yeah,
literally, like hurt us.
I've heard
So
that
it's my
too.
we might as well just leave them alone. They're not going to build nothing. They don't want to build nothing. It's done. The black community is done. It's finished, and we might as well just start migrating to better pastures because Blackistan is here to stay, and it's not going nowhere. And we might as well just leave it.
Blackistan is the
Yeah.
oldest city in the world. Do you hear me? It's the
So
oldest city in the world. It's always been like that. Welcome to the panel,
And on
Kyra.
the
Hey,
and
I, well, I wanted to piggyback off of what Dark Gentlewoman said about the civil rights, if that's okay.
That's fine.
All right. So if you look at it, civil rights enabled the black man to do what he wanted to do all along. So before civil rights, the black man mar- was married, they had their own businesses, and they managed their own communities. After civil rights, all that went away. They left their families, they stopped managing their communities, and they stopped being business owners. I think that's exactly what they really wanted. They wanted to be free from all responsibilities. And I think that's what civil rights was all about, was freeing them from normal societal responsibilities as men.
Facts. Facts. I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I'm gonna have to agree with you there. And like I said, I've known this since I was in college. I guess I accepted it within the last maybe 10 years. And I'm a Gen Xer. I'm around the same age as DZ, and I'm done. I've been done. But I'm just like, I'm
Hmm.
glad I found a community of women to say, "Oh, you're done too? Good. Good." Because
That's
that's
why that's why it's so
yeah,
awesome when we get behind the wall and able to say exactly what we want to say without having YouTube to consider. It's We have some of the best conversations, and I enjoy those conversations because you don't meet those type of people regularly in your life. Because if you say some of the stuff we say out at the Kroger, out at the store, anywhere, somebody gonna look at you like you got two heads and three asses.
Shoot, I can't even say this in front of my mom. She is very black male identified. I literally had an argument with her last weekend over it. She's like, "I love black men. I don't care." I don't, like, Mom, really?
I be saying shit in public. I be
Like,
getting all kind of. I be
what's
getting all
wrong
kind.
with you?
And
I be
that's
getting
yeah,
all
I
kind.
think I think the civil rights part, I sort of think about it a little bit, and I think it sort of also ties into feminism because you hear a lot of black men say, "Oh, feminism is what ruined black women." But when you think about it, the rise of black feminists and the civil rights movement sort of happened subsequently because when the men left, the woman had to take on that masculine role. And the part of that was because black men weren't even really used to being in that masculine role. So when they got thrown in it, they had to hurry up and get out of it. And so that's when that feminism sort of comes in. But
They
the
don't
difference
believe that.
between
They don't believe that. They're just able to say that to deflect. So if in 1968 all black women rushed to get breast implants, today they would say we don't have nothing because in 1968 y'all went and got breast implants. They just
Mhm.
picking stuff to say. None of it makes any sense. They are full of it.
Yeah, and I think they also try to compare black feminism to white feminism, and I think in one panel a few days ago we were talking about how they say that feminism only ruined black women, but feminism didn't ruin any other race of women. And part of that is because even let's go back to before America even existed, whether a white woman stayed in England or a white woman got on a boat, a white woman had something to eat. A white woman was going to have children. She was going to have a place to stay. She probably didn't have the respect, but she had the resources, and that was all that mattered. So when feminism came along to white women, white men weren't scared. They weren't shaking in their boots because they already built that foundation.
Maya,
They don't need yes.
oh, black men know that. Whatever they're saying that's coming out of their herpes infested mouth, they're just gaslighting. They know that.
Why are y'all still having these motherfucking conversations? Like this shit just irritates the fuck out of me even hearing that you had this conversation
Well, let
with
me tell
somebody.
you why, Dr. Neff. You're farther along in your journey than a lot of people are, and I'm just doing it for the younger girls and the people that are
Okay.
considering it. Yeah.
No. I don't mean us. I don't mean why we're having this conversation now. I mean why are these younger girls even engaging and trying to have this type of debate with these men or these type of thinkers, right? Like when you,
I don't
because
know, but
you
your phone
already,
going in and out too. Your phone
oh,
is going
sorry,
in and out.
it's probably my little bootleg earbud, but
Yeah,
um,
you sound like you in a
can
pot
you
of
hear me?
boiling soup.
Let me
Okay.
get these damn earbuds. I'll be stupid. Oh Lord.
But yeah, they
I get
know
what
this
Oh,
I
shit.
get what she's saying about talking about it, like young ladies and older women are constantly debating with these men about these issues. It's just like at this point, stop talking to them. Just uh,
Hmm.
you just shake your head and you look sweetly and you bat your eyelids and you're like, okay, just agree with them and walk
They're
away.
gonna do
I
mental
just think,
gymnastics to make everything your
yeah,
fault. It's
I
going
think
to
that
just it's gonna be your fault at the end of the conversation. So yes, talking to
Yeah,
them is a waste of time.
yeah, I
it's
think
exhausting.
I. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I, I
What's that?
personally am
I don't know
more.
what that sound is. Let me mute these mics real quick. Okay,
I
go ahead, Maya.
I personally am one of the stronger, like a lot of stuff I really just laugh it off, but my biggest problem with it is that I do see some girls my age or a little bit older who are actually like going on these TikTok spaces and like crying and bawling their eyes out. And like I saw this one girl who's like sitting in her car and she's like, "Black girls, I'm so sorry, guys." Da, 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 da. And then it's also really heavily targeted towards my generation. So it's not really about, I don't really care about what they think. I care more so about the effect that it has on young girls that can't really understand it, because a lot of times their biggest thing, they don't just say, "Oh, black men hate us, black men don't like us." They say, "Why do they? Why? What's going on?" And they
They're
try
still
to
at
get this
this
understanding.
they're still at the stage where they want to know. If you are divested like you're supposed to be, you wouldn't care at all. You wouldn't even be posing the question at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
they might as well tell me that hot Cheetos are green. I don't give a damn what they're talking about. I don't care. It's like they don't exist. I'm just trying to snatch people up out of Blackistan so they can stay there and pretend like hot Cheetos are green on their
It,
own.
Yeah.
it's
I think
embarrassing.
what it is. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
I think what it is that a lot of these younger generations, their parents, didn't teach them how to value themselves and how to, not buy for a man's attention. Just have, be confident and not worry about what any man says about them. And you see some of these young girls on TikTok, you know, they're sitting there, begging for black men to love them, and it's like,
It's
why do you care?
embarrassing.
It's like, no, don't. But I think what it is that us as black women, the older generation, like the older generation, the millennials, we need to like go to those girls and tell them that you don't need their attention. You don't need nothing from them. They're not going to change. A lot of these younger generation black boys, they don't have they don't care no more. They just don't care.
See, that
and
part was
and
no
they
more.
don't have the fathers in their homes to teach them how to be men. So they're not men, they're little boys.
It's
And
funny how
even as
some of you say no more. They never cared to begin with.
no, they never cared at all. Not even when they got older. Not even the older generation of men cared. They don't
Hmm.
care. You know, they
Rose.
never cared. And
I'm
I
sorry, is
think
your
that's
name
what
Rose?
yeah, Rose.
Yeah, I would like to disagree with you. I don't think that has anything to do with what these parents are telling them. A lot of the younger generation consume way more social media than we do. And they don't understand that it's okay to block and choose to not be interested in with any commentary from a black male. If you
What
see
I
a black
mean
male on your screen, is they need to learn how to not consume it, because
what
I think they're consuming so much music. It's on the TV, on movies, television, shows, on the media, and then when you overconsume it on social media, when they talk about black love, these younger generation women and men, they actually think that this is what is supposed to be the right thing because they're consuming so much of it, but they don't realize that they don't have
it's
to
not
consume it.
it's not just social media, it's also their parents too, because they grow up in a house with mammies. And their mammies are telling them that, oh, you this is what you need as a black man. This is what you what so what it really is their parents too. Some of
I
them
think
who grow up in
that's an
and
oversimplification too. A lot of these
some of
kids,
them who
because
grow
they
up in
have,
these households,
yeah, and they're
they
seeing
get
it,
told
and
that.
they see it and they want the exact opposite though. A lot of these individuals are seeing their parents suffer, and then they also look at, shows like these Disney Channel
Huh?
shows, and they wonder, well, why can't I
So
have a
you
mom
can't
and
stay
dad that's
because
comfortable
I'm
like
staying.
the Disney
I'm
show?
Tanya's gonna be leaving for street.
But
I
majority
Parents
of them
want to be
Somebody
validated.
has
okay.
a hot mic.
Yeah, there's a severe echo, and then somebody in the background is telling y'all to do something. I suggest y'all do it because they don't sound like they bullshitting with you.
I think you both are right. As a Gen Zer, I see where both are coming from.
Same.
It's more so, not only do you have parents, I mean, good thing I don't, but not only do you have mammies that you're growing up with, but you also see social media, and social media is they know who their audience is. They know that there are young, impressionable black girls on here that is seeing mixed messages saying, oh, black love, BET likes to promote that black love this, black love that, even though all of it is a struggle love. And then you also have, if you go on TikTok, you see so much anti-black woman stuff coming from black men, non-black women, some non-black men as well. So it's like, you both are right. It's not who's right, who's wrong. You both are right, because
Yeah.
it's coming from your parents. Your moms are telling you, oh, you need to stick with a black man because the only man who can understand you is a black man, which is
Exactly.
BS to me.
Exactly.
That's BS, because Asian men, Polynesian men, Native American men, and any other man of color is also a man of color as well, not just black men. And they also
And
have
think
brutality just like you do. They also get racially profiled, yet they're not over here crying like black men are. And they say, oh,
exactly. I
yeah,
hear it in my own family because I have younger Gen Z cousins, and they get their mom tells them that, and I tell them differently. I'm like, no, don't listen to that. You know, there's so many other men out there who are way better than what is in the community because the community is lost. So
Yeah.
I tell them that all the so I have young Gen Z cousins. I have nieces and nephews who are Gen Z. So their mothers tell them this. So that's why I said it's the parents also.
yeah, because
Yeah. I
And I
think
think
as
Hold up one second, y'all. Welcome to the panel, Gigi. Did you want to cut in or no?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello,
Hi. Can you hear me?
G. Yes, I can. Beautiful accent. What's up, honey?
Hi everyone. Yeah, hi. I'm a little bit nervous because it's my first time calling, but I've been watching your channel for a few weeks now, and I love your live streams. I love like all the topics that you talk about because
Why, thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel like I do relate to it. I understand where, what you guys are talking about, and I just wanted to talk about the I don't want to change the topic, but I kind of want to talk about the girl that got shot in London, and just to give
You
you a
know
bit of
what? We talked
background.
about her last time, but this is just it goes into
Okay.
what we're talking about now.
Yeah,
We talked
yeah,
about her when she got shot. Do you have any
yeah.
updates that we don't have on her? Is she still
Yes, I think
alive?
she is alive. She is in critical condition, and I think I
Still?
looked in the news.
Wow.
Yes, she was shot in the head. Like, I don't know
I
what it was,
God.
but that's
honestly,
quite
honestly, I
serious.
thought she'd be gone by now.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Oh
like
my
that's why I
she's
God.
said that.
so
I
Yeah,
thought she'd
I
be
thought
gone by
she was
now.
gone.
yeah, it's very, very serious, especially like, shot in the head, and they say that they're looking for four black males. Like in England, you can't get a lot of stuff. You can't get knives. You can't get fabric scissors. You can't get certain stuff unless you have ID. So I don't believe that this was anything to do with what she does. I think they were just looking for someone, and she was
Yeah,
there,
it was
and
5 of
yeah.
them. They were
Mm,
all black males
mm,
ranging from age 17 to 28. And
correct.
the
Yeah.
police are suspecting that it was gang violence. So the very people she was out there stomping a yard for has her laid up in the hospital in critical
Sure.
condition for over a week. It's stupid as fuck. I don't know when they're going to
She
stop this
is dumb.
nonsense.
Like is she crazy or something? Like I personally, I'm not from London. Someone said they thought I'm from the north of England. No, I'm from the Midlands. I'm in the middle of nowhere. No one knows me, and it's a small community. So thank God that I don't live in Blackistan. So thank God. Um, she's from Peckham. Like, if you ever go London, I would say never ever go south of the river. You would never. Literally, that's the worst thing to do. You do not go south of the river. Peckham, Brixton, Croydon, they are no-go areas. You do
They need
not
to
go
tighten up
there
on this immigration,
unless
honestly.
un, unless
They
you
need to tighten
unless
up
you're
on
asking for,
immigration.
yeah, you're asking for a death wish. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's completely crazy. Yeah. So she's still in hospital. That's the only thing I can say. She's alive, but she's in hospital.
We're gonna see, because let me tell you, I honestly, if she can't do anything for herself or to take care of her kids, or if she's not gonna have a quality of life, I don't know how humane it is to let her stay in that condition. She's been in critical condition for a
Hmm.
minute. And if y'all know anything about taking care of patients that are in critical condition, that are intubated, that can't move, they start getting bed sores, their body starts changing, their organs start changing, and it's just not a quality of life. So they need to figure out what they're going to do with her, or what her next of kin is saying do with her, because they're being extra at this point. They really are. That girl got shot in the head. Now
The
somebody needs to
doctors
step
could
up.
the doctors could go over like her parents' consent, and because I know she wasn't married, like they didn't mention her
Of
husband or
course she
anything. So
wasn't. She likes black men. She wasn't married for real.
yeah, legit. Sorry, that's so funny. But yeah, they could go against her parents' wishes and take it to the High Court, and actually the doctors could switch off her life support if there wasn't. They would say this is the only choice that
She
she has. So they could do that. They have done that before. They have switched off life
mhm.
support on children and adults. So
Yes.
that could happen. Yeah.
Welcome to the panel, Pinda.
Hi everyone. I hope you guys are
Hey,
doing well.
we're awesome. Preach a word for us.
Oh, so I just wanted to give a different perspective on being. So I'm also a Generation Z. I'm quite younger. I'm 17, and I also wanted to
It's a
give
lot of young folks
perspective.
around here. I'm glad to see y'all not at these parks, at these barbecues, chasing dusties. I take my hat off to the Gen Zers. Stay y'all butt in the house, please, and thank you. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say thank you to people like you and like Chrissy and all these other like divestment channels. Because me, I'm African, so my family isn't like, we're from Senegal, so we're not like like Black Americans. So growing up was kind of tricky. I grew up in like an all white, not all white, but the majority population where I live in Michigan is white. So I do think I've had quite an identity crisis. But then going on to middle school, I was in that mentality of, oh, I see other Black kids, let me intermingle with them. And I think that was the worst decision I made. Black men,
Same.
the Black boys I was in school with would ridicule me. I would be bullied and all types of things. And from an early age, I know I'm still young, but I feel like from an early age, I was able to open my eyes and see that Black men is not what I want. And I don't want an African man either. And so
I don't
I've
want a
always
man that's white that has chocolate spilt on his
oh
arm. Point blank. Period. Is that all of them are screwed up?
They
So you're
really
on the
are.
right
I mean,
track.
they really are. They're gonna call you whitewashed if you don't have 6 baby daddies by the age of 17. They're, if you don't pop your neck while you're talking, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel you because I'm in Michigan as well. And I can tell you, like I told the ladies on the Discord yesterday how, when I got to high school, I never really heard this before from other black kids, but like I was called white girl, whitewash. Oh, you talk white.
Yes.
You sound like you're
Yes.
you're British, and I'm like, sound like I'm
Yes.
British. Hold on,
Mhm.
hold on.
It's such
Okay,
like
you
an
have to
ignorant, it's
really.
such an ignorant comment
It's
because it
very
just makes
ignorant.
them look stupid. Because it just makes it
Very.
seem like, oh, talking like you're educated is a white person's trait.
They're very
And they're just so stupid. It's like, but
Yeah,
I'm glad. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like I've
can't
always.
stand that.
yeah.
I
They're
don't like
very
when they say,
anti.
"Oh, you're talking like a white person." Like, well, excuse you.
Like they're
I
too
guess I'm
young.
talking with intellect. Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah, they're
That's why I said they're white
anti-black.
supremacists. Anything that's correct and you don't have diction, anything that's better, they call it being white. So black people are the biggest white supremacists.
and,
Period.
and then they're gonna call you anti-black for saying that you don't talk ghetto. First of all, you're the anti-black one because you associated the way I spoke to white people, and they know what they're doing. They know what they mean by you talk white. They know that you sound proper, but when you call it out, then they're gonna flip it on you with the reverse psychology or whatever, and say that you're, anti-black. No, you are. I was minding my own business. Then you guys harassed me for not being what you thought a black woman specifically should act like. Because I've noticed they don't really do that with black boys who talk smart. They'll be like, oh, that's a smart brother that you black girls need to get with. But when it's a black woman who is intellectually smart and, she talks with proper grammar and she doesn't speak broken English like you guys do, then, all of a sudden you want to say, oh, you hate yourself and you're whitewashed. You better get out of my face with all of that. And so when I was in high school, I didn't, I just never really heard that before. And remind you, I have grown up with black kids in the past, elementary and middle school. But when I got to high school, it was like a whole different route. And I'm like, when I heard the fact that they thought I was British, I was like, you really must have to be from the trenches to think I sound British. Like you really, like you have to be some type of Atlanta or
Facts. Facts.
Mississippi type of ghetto. Like I've never heard that a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? So black boys have always done that, like it's ridiculous, and that's what I'm saying. Like I just wish that more, like I'm really focused on the girls in my generation. I'm not really focused on like the black women who are older because they don't listen. So I'm just hoping that more black girls that's my age or younger can like really listen to me because we need to divest from them. And divesting doesn't, to me, it doesn't just mean dating out. That does mean, divesting, but it also means getting away from them. Do not find jobs that they predominantly work at.
Yep.
Don't move in their neighborhoods. When you have children with Brad or whoever one day, do not have your kids growing up with them because then the cycle is going to keep repeating itself. And I also wanted right quick to piggyback off what the other young lady was saying about the black girls on TikTok. It's embarrassing. I just understand how you're calling black boys and men kings, but then you're saying that we're the most disrespected and unprotected. Who do you think we're supposed to be protected by? You're protecting random black men that you don't know, but they're not protecting you, and then you make excuses for them. So it's like it's embarrassing. You're sitting up here in front of millions of people getting hundreds of thousands of likes off of your pain, and it's not, and I'm not saying that black girls can't show emotion or vent, but I just feel like, can we make private group chats where we're venting to each other and not all out here in the opening giving these men the power that they don't even deserve? They literally do nothing for you, yet you're crying over them. And it's because you've been brainwashed to think that these men are just these great things, and they're not. They're not smart. They don't have anything to offer you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what is this obsession that y'all have with being with a black man? Why? Like, that's why I say to you guys all the time that black women remind me of white women. Y'all sit here and say, oh, she's fetishizing our men. You are too, because
That's a fact.
all you can say is,
Facts.
oh, I want a tall chocolate dark that don't sound like you're fetishizing your own men. And I hope you guys know that you can fetishize your own people. Just because you're
Yeah,
black
you
doesn't
sure
mean
can.
it doesn't mean nothing. I can be black all I want, but I can turn around right now and fetishize black men if I wanted to. So, a lot of y'all remind me of white women. It's like, what is this obsession if with being with your own men? Like, he don't have anything else to offer you, and this is why the bar is in the ground right now. And this is why I'm saying in 2021, at this point, it is starting to become black women's fault. The reason why they're still hurting, because it's like, at what point are you going to get some self-esteem? At what point are you going to put yourself
Never.
first? At what point
Go
are you
off,
going to
man,
put
for
yourself,
real.
at what point are you, and then, and I see a lot of black women on YouTube talking about divestment, but it's a lot of women on here that talks about the behavior of black men, yet you rather die alone than to give yourself that chance to find another man. Because in my opinion, a man is a man. You know what I'm saying? It does, like, I'm not out here trying to sniff for a child
Trinity,
that may
Trinity,
back.
can I interrupt you? I would
Yeah.
like to say thank you everyone for your time. There's people in the backstage just waiting, so I'm gonna hop off and let them hop in. But thank you so much.
See you in the Discord, Sanasta.
Yes, ma'am.
Peace.
I'm sorry for ranting, y'all. I'm just so
Yeah.
passionate about this.
No, no, just go ahead, please. I
You
like
haven't
listening.
said
I am
any
so
you
sorry.
haven't said anything wrong. It's a fact. And if I didn't grow up black, I would think that something was mentally wrong with black women on a genetic level.
I
I
think
swear to you, because you don't see any other group of women with this undying loyalty that black women have for black men without them giving you something in return. You get nothing in return. As a matter of fact, you get kicked in the teeth again for being such a desperate ass bitch. Just knock it off. If
I
you're
If
not,
like
you know how to quit, just quit it. Like, you know, they're not our men. They've never been our men. Just F them. Like, forget about
exactly, and
them.
it's even as me, I'm a millennial, so I'm even embarrassed with millennials. You see them on TikTok too, and they're going in people's comments saying, "Oh, why don't you like a black man? This, that, and no, you." Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, like
when you give them
you
the
see
answer as to
them.
why you don't like them, once you answer it, they don't like the answer. You can run
Yeah,
down
they don't
facts.
like it.
You can run it. You
Well,
can even
and
tell.
they'll say, well, white men do that too, and it's like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
can't.
Why are
Okay.
you not comparing him to white men that actually build stuff? You never hear them say that.
No,
You never hear
never.
them say, it's like, well, white men do this bad too. They do this bad too. They hit their women too. Okay. Now, can we talk about what black men do that white men actually do that's good? And then you can hear a mouse poot in the room because it's fallen so silent with they dumb asses.
For real. So don't, I mean, millennials are just as bad, especially millennials who have Gen Z kids, and they teach their Gen Z kids that to stay with a black man. And that's just terrible. Like, why are you like, oh, I can't, like those millennial mammies, I just can't deal with them. I'm like, I snap out on them because I can't.
The
I've
Gen X
noticed
mammy.
when they're childbearing age and they're looking for a mate, that's the hardest time to get somebody to divest. When their ovaries are in their stomach twerking, it is so hard to get them to divest because they say they want kids that look like them and not all. That's the hardest. That's what I found is the hardest time to talk to a woman to try to get her to divest when
And,
she's looking to have children and a mate.
they
and you know
weaponize
what's so
it.
crazy? DZ, to piggyback off that, if you are in that range of like 35 to 40, one, freeze your eggs. It's affordable now, and
Yes.
and you can finance it like plastic surgery. Once upon a time, you couldn't do that. That's what I did. And I'm going to tell you something else. Like, you think the millennials are bad. Oh my God. You talk about some hard heads in Gen X. When I post receipts, because see, I don't see the young kids coming for me. The young kids, you guys listen, like Trinity and all the young ladies in here, y'all listen and you all soak up the information. You're like, okay, bet. The ones our age are absolutely horrible, and they're just
Yeah, my mom is
bitter.
a Gen X. Oh
And
my
they,
god,
right, and
it's
they
oh my
regret
god, it's the
they re,
arguments.
right, they regret their decisions. See, I don't have children. Okay, I didn't do that because I'm not married. It's like, oh nope. And I always said, okay, I'm gonna freeze my eggs, and guess what? You want access to my womb, you're gonna have to pay for it because my eggs are frozen. So guess what? That cancels out a lot of dusties. And to the young ladies in the chat, please, please have spaces where you can meet and pull these girls off TikTok so y'all can discuss this in private. Because yeah, they're at a tender age. Trinity, the other ladies in chat, everybody's not as smart as you. And I thank God for young women like you, but everyone is not as smart as you. Oh, and just
Yeah,
the white comment, they were calling me white when I was in grade school too. And then I went to a high school that was great, and I didn't hear that was integrated, and I didn't hear that anymore because we were all smart. But I wanted to say, if for any young women that if they want to know why, because I get it. DZ, I get the why they want to know why. If you want to know why, there's a great book called The Sojourner's Passport by Khadija Nashif. She's a Gen Xer, and she doesn't call herself divested, but she is divested. Okay, and she explains all that dumb pathology and the origins of the dumb pathology. Okay, so if you want to know why that is, read that book. Recommend that book. If anybody that follows me on Twitter, you already know that I post one page from that book and about how they gaslight and do all that. That was the book that saved me. Then I found these communities on social media.
And I wanted to.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I
No, it's
want
okay. You can
I
speak.
just wanted to say that my mom is a Gen X, and I can tell you how stubborn a Gen X mammy is. My mom got abused so bad by my dad, my biological dad, domestic violence. Like he literally pulled a gun out and shot her in her leg. That's how bad he was. He was violent as hell. He would beat the living crap out of her to where she had like swollen eyes and lips. And my mom still wants a black man, even after all that. Even after her two kids witness her getting her ass beat, she still wants a black man. That's how stubborn Gen X's are. Seriously, especially these Gen X's mammies, that they will pass that type of mindset down to their kids. Thank God I did not listen to my mom, and I had divested after witnessing that what my mom went through with my dad and witnessing the dysfunction of the black man in my family, that I decided to divest because I did not want to be like her, stuck in that rut and not wanting to change. So please, I can tell you that Gen X mammies are the worst. And they and it passes down to the millennial, their millennial kids, and the millennial mammies get just as bad. They're more radical than the Gen X's. They're super radical.
I personally think that every generation has their shit. Now, let me tell you, the ones that are, what is the one up under us, up under Gen X?
Millennials, I think.
Millennials, Gen Y.
Millennial mammies are still trying to get these black men. It's a last ditch effort because they're approaching, a high age at this point where they're starting to look kind of sideways that they're not married. So they're doing stupid shit for particular black men to try to get their attention.
Yeah,
Now the
the
ones that came before us, the Gen X's parents, those mammies will try to use the Bible to get you to be a fucking mammy. They'll basically tell you that, listen, what you're doing is a sin. You can't go against, God that way. You're supposed to build family and you're supposed to do it with other black people. That's what I was taught.
Baby boomers. Those are the baby boomers. The baby boomers are what GZ was talking about. They're awful. They're gone.
Every generation has their attack strategy on how they're going to keep everybody being mammies, and all of it is disgusting.
Excuse me?
Go ahead.
I can definitely relate with the baby boomer thing because I once had a teacher and there was a boy in my class and he was basically known to be really creepy with girls. Like I live in a mostly Hispanic and Black area, so he fetishized Hispanic girls. So this one teacher who was a Hispanic woman, she reported him to a social worker, and she was basically saying, he was harassing these girls. He like threw some food at a Hispanic girl because she didn't like him back. And this teacher, she was a baby boomer and she was a Black woman. She was a mammy. And she had this conversation with this little boy. And she starts going on. She's all like, yeah, because, these little girls, they be acting like they're so scared when they're really not. And these girls, they're so culturally different. And I'm just sitting here like, when did harassment ever become acceptable in the Black community? Other than mammies like you thinking that that's acceptable just because he's young. And she's all like, yeah, because you're a Black boy. And, you got to be careful with these girls out here, instead of just telling him that what he did was wrong and that it was harassment.
Mark my words, y'all. All of us have moms or had moms or had a mother figure. If you ask that respective Black woman, the one that's referring to the mom, they'll always tell you the women in their mother's generation were the worst mammies. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you had to deal with that generation one on one. So if you talk to a Gen Xer, they're going to tell you the baby boomers were worse. If you talk to a Gen Zer, they're going to tell you that the Gen Xers were worse. The scary part about all of this, though, is what the babies that are coming up, I'm talking about the babies that are being born, are going to say. And I can only imagine. See, because what's going on right now, we got a lot of Black women that's accepting polygamy and all that shit. So the babies are going to be like,
God.
well, you get what I'm saying? They're going to be saying, well, my mom let my dad have 4 sister wives and that kind of shit. It's just the story and history of mammyism. It's just it's a horror story. It really
And
is.
I'm just hoping that, people like us, you, me, DZ, that we break that chain and
Yeah.
stop this
Yeah.
madness, because it's going to ruin Black women. It's going to ruin us. It's going to really be a lot of damaged Black women. It's
These
going to
babies
repeat.
are going to be saying,
I
my
just it
dad used to
scares
carry
me.
these babies when they get older. They're going to be saying, well, my mom let my dad carry a purse. Well, my dad was this, that, and the third, and he also had a boyfriend. Those stories are gonna be they're gonna put our stories to shame. It's gonna make us look like we was bitching for nothing. Because the babies that's coming up, those stories gonna be a mess, and they're gonna be really, really deviant.
That's true.
To
I
answer
just
her,
fear. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. To answer the other young lady's question, I got 2 words for you: Robert Kelly. R. Kelly has gotten away with so much stuff throughout
Facts.
the decades, and I'm not even gonna lie, I like a few of his songs. I'm not even gonna lie, but he's still wrong, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he may be talented, but I still would not have let that gone on if I was in his camp. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically, because he had a lot of mammies in his camp, and they kept caping for him. They kept sweeping things under the rug. And my thing is, with the whole Sparkle and his ex-wife, I believe they knew what was going on, but because they wanted to come up, they kept their mouth shut. I mean, you can even tell if you look at the documentary or whatever. So at the end of the day, if you're hearing, like Sparkle said, if you were hearing rumors about him and Aaliyah, then why did you still allow for your niece to be around him? You heard rumors. Rumors to me is enough, because who would even make up a rumor like that? You know what I'm saying? So the Black community, Black men and women, have allowed for this man to run around the community forever until he got old and washed up. You know what I'm saying? So, it was the Black community that protected him. It was, even though, the music industry, the white people who are on the top, because they like to make money off of Negroes, and it is what it is. So, that's why they're allowed to get away with what they get away with, is because we have so many mammies, and society protects Black men, and that's just the truth. I mean, you can't tell me otherwise. They are a protective class, and you can't say that they aren't, because R. Kelly was a walking proof. He was literally the definition of protection. This man was a whole pedo. So at the end of the
Yeah,
day, it is what it is.
even with like Tory Lanez and him shooting Megan, like there's so many, oh well, I don't think he did it, and we had so many Black men have the platform to publicly say, oh, I don't think Tory did it. And then you had that one lady, she was an exotical, I think. She was either light skin or exotical, and she was all like, oh, Megan, I guess Megan got a little too aggressive and she let him shoot her in her foot or something.
It's
And
on
it
y'all
really
to
does show.
ostracize mammies. You have to ostracize mammies. Somebody got a lot of background noise back there.
Nobody allows anyone to shoot them. Like no one just stands there and unless they're like mentally ill and says like go ahead and just shoot me. Like so to put the blame on the woman like that, to put it all on what is her name, Megan the Stallion, that that was just mind blowing to me
They're
that
all
he took
pussies.
no
All of them.
accountability.
All of them. They're cowards. They're cowards.
When a man has no accountability for himself in a society that allows him to have no type of accountability, that is the most dangerous person in society, is one without any accountability.
Yeah,
For the younger ladies in the chat, and I'm gonna go because there's other people waiting to get in. Basically, oh, why doesn't a black man want me? Da 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 da. And I'll leave the receipts with the UK sisters. Black, Caribbean, British men marry out at 50% or higher. If you are a black child in the United Kingdom under the age of 7, there is a 60% chance that you have a white mom. They have single-handedly wiped out the black race in the United Kingdom. Okay, those are
Or
facts.
did.
And the
That's
two sisters here
True.
in the UK, from the UK,
Yeah.
because one here from the UK, one here from the Caribbean, they can verify that. So you tell your
Yeah.
people, tell your girls that, and that just to open up their options, because they sure have. They've opened, and the UK is 20 years ahead of us, because remember, mass
yeah, they've been dating
migration.
out.
Right, mass migration in the UK happened right after the war, 1945. There was no such thing as miscegenation, or you couldn't marry a white woman or whatever. So they're 20 years ahead of us. In 20 years, that's in less than 20 years. In 15 years, that's where we'll be. There won't be a lot of fully black children running around. That's because of the Dusties. So
There's like
whatever,
a
do what you
huge
want.
Yeah, there's a
So
huge
true. Oh
population
my
of
god.
mixed
Oh
race
my god.
children in the UK. A huge population of
All of
mixed kids in
them
the
have
UK.
white mums. All of them, like every single mixed race person I've met, have white mums. All of them. Even in the
Right?
small city that I live in, all of them. You see a Jamaican man, he's mixed himself, and you see him with a whale, and then you
'Cause
see the child, and no, you can't see anything. Like it's a white baby. All of
Yeah,
yeah,
them.
they
and
didn't
All
have
of them
they
are.
didn't
All
have
of them are dating white.
segregation like America did. They
Yeah.
didn't have segregation out here like out here in America did. So they've been dating out. They've been
As
dating
soon
out
as
for
they got off the
years.
boat, they were like,
yeah,
Yep,
yep,
as
they
soon
and
as
found
they got off the
the
boat.
first, they found the
Yeah,
first
as soon
whale,
as they
anything.
abolished
yeah,
They
right?
found the first whale that
Remember,
anything with white skin. They just ran. They just ran. I'll take you. Anyone. All of them.
and
It was
because
just good. Even the ones from Africa. Like I'm
hate,
not gonna say because I'm African. I will tell you the truth. All of them have done that. Every even in London, like parts of London, you literally see in cafes, you'll see like a black man with a white woman, and they just look at you like up and down. I don't
Go
want
ahead,
him.
Trinity.
sorry y'all. But because black people have self-hate, they're so dumb. They they're notorious for the one drop rule, right? So they'll say, oh well, anytime you have 10% black in you, you're black. So all those biracial kids that you guys were just talking about, no, they're black according to Blackistan, because they want to, I don't know, I guess that's their way of taking some type of power back or whatever. But then they'll
They're
be like,
full of
oh
shit.
yeah, and then they'll be like, oh well, the white man sees them as black, so they're black. By that logic, that is so,
Mm,
white people see y'all
no,
as monkeys. Are y'all going around calling yourselves monkeys? No, you're not. So that whole logic is so dumb. It's just because you have self-hate. That's why you claim Zendaya so much. Have y'all ever noticed how, the kids on TikTok will be like, oh my God, Zendaya should be the beauty standard for the black community, when you look nothing like her. And I hate when black women say that too, because it's like, you're not, you really want to look like black men's preference. So you're just proving our point that y'all have self-hate, and that's
They're
why
sick. They're sick in the
sick.
head, y'all.
They're
Y'all
sick.
do y'all roundup, because my old ass done hit the 2-hour mark. So round robin time.
All right, I'll go first. If you want a fully black daughter, adopt. There's plenty of them. You can get one that looks just like you. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm out. Bye.
Peace. Who's next?
I guess I'll quickly head out.
Hey,
I just want to say thank
this Dr.
you.
Abdullah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, because I don't
Oh,
think y'all can hear each other.
sorry.
Go ahead, Dr.
I just want to
Abdullah.
say thank you. Oh, I'll
No,
mute and I'll wait.
I just wanted to say, DZ, I'm ready for your next divested topic to be on how to kind of coach and help Black women who are new to dating white men. I think that'd be a really good one
I have an author
for
that's
you to
coming.
do.
We're doing Daughters of Crackheads next time. She wrote a book on it, and the shit is lit, and we're going to drag the crackheads of the 80s and 90s the next go round. And then after that, we'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I accidentally cut her off. But I just want to say thank you. And I think it's really important for younger women like me, younger Black women specifically, to see things like this and to be able to identify these dusties out in public and to avoid them. But you're doing God's work, and I thank you a lot. Because you
Hey.
actually have really helped me. I wasn't able to
Aw.
say everything, but you genuinely have helped me open my eyes, and a weight has been lifted off my chest, and genuinely thank you. And
That's
take care,
what's up.
everyone. Bye. Take
You're
care,
the
guys.
reason, you and people like you are the reason I even bring my silly ass up here.
Oh. All right, guys. Take care. Ciao, ciao.
All right, you too. Appreciate you. Any other takers before I start dragging the Black community?
Yeah, I'm gonna head on out. Oh, I'm about to head out. Thanks, DZ, for this platform. I appreciate it. It's
Of course.
I'm just so happy that there are like-minded people that are out there, and I'm not alone no more. Shout out to the people in the chat. Y'all are the greatest.
They are.
Y'all
I love the chat. My
goats.
chat
Y'all
be
are the
lit.
goats. I'm reading the chat too.
love
Y'all
the
are the
chat.
goats.
They shy asses need to come up here one day. They got some good ass words.
Yep,
and
they
need to say
definitely
it.
do.
Bring your
They
ass up
definitely
here.
do. So shout out to the chat room. Shout out to all the Gen Zers in this platform. Shout out to the millennials, the divestors, everybody, all of y'all. Y'all are amazing, and I'm just happy to be a part of this.
That's what's up, Rose.
That's all I would say. Divest or die. That's the only
Yes.
choice you have. Divest or die. And I'm hitting out. God bless y'all. Thank you. Thank you all. Love you all. And take care. And stay off these streets for the holidays because these fools is out here shooting. Be safe.
Yep.
I just wanted to say, there's a screenshot I have on my laptop, and it reminds me every day. What's the secret to eternal happiness is to not argue with fools. And if anyone ever disagrees with you, just tell them that they're right. So don't disagree with people. Don't talk with these type of people. Just divest completely, and I mean completely, away from that community, for your own sanity and for the future generations. And that was it, pretty much. Shabbat shalom. It's great to have you guys on here and to speak with you all and to learn a few new things.
That's what's up. Thank you for coming up. Anybody else before I drag these mother suckers into the earth?
I think I'm gonna head to bed, but thank you. I really enjoyed talking to you. I just wanna say again, avoid South London, avoid Birmingham, avoid England. I would say that. If you want to travel, go to Scotland. It's beautiful there, and there's more what's the name? Really hot men down there, up there, I mean. So yeah, and also avoid them in school, avoid them at work, avoid them down the street, avoid them in supermarkets, shops. No, I literally give them no eye contact. And if one tries to talk to me, I wear my headphones and I just keep walking. So yeah, that's what I would say. Avoid. And that's
a word. That's a word. I appreciate you, girl. Appreciate you.
No, thank you. Yeah, I'll let you get on with your dragging, and I will, catch you up later. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I'll go next.
Okay, Trinity, hit us.
So I just want to say I'm so glad I got to say a lot that I wanted to say. I might come up with my own channel. We'll see in the future. But yeah, I just
Divested Junior would be lit. It was a lot of girls in here saying that they wanted a younger girl's perspective. So that
yeah,
would be dope.
and that's why I come on here because I don't have a platform, obviously, and I really like my goal is to really get as many Black women, specifically Gen Zers, to divest because it starts with us, you know.
Yes.
So that's why I say the things that I say because I put Black women first. I am pro Black women only, and that's just for me. That's one of the things I want to do in life and I want to accomplish, which is to reach out to other women who look like me from all diasporas. So I will definitely be on here next time again. But I my final words is that I want Black women to divest. I want you guys to go into your local neighborhoods and go to your police stations and build relationships with police officers because we need that protection. And no matter what neighborhood you're in, you need that protection. So
Yep.
see y'all later. Adios.
See you in the Discord, baby girl.
Okay.
I
Um,
think is that it? Or yeah, I
oh,
think that's it. Maya, you got something to say before I drag these moto sokas?
I just wanted to say, rest in your femininity, and I definitely be on board with a divested junior channel. Like, I can put my Instagram in the chat if you want to talk about it. I
At Trinity in the comment section. Just at her because she's going to be the one that started. And you two, I will definitely be watching from the clouds. And then I'll come out and say
okay.
something if I need to. If y'all have some Gen X Dusties that want some smoke. Okay.
Okay, so I just put in the private chat.
Yeah, put it there, or you can put it in the main chat, or however you want to do it. It's up to
Okay.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And now it appears that it's time for me to drag. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. This is Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, and the barbecue ribs should be ready. Right now, in most Blackistani neighborhoods, they're getting the foil, the cups, the gin. They're looking at each other like, she ain't bring nothing, but she taking a lot of food. She done gained so much weight. And they're doing all of this because deep down they're competing for the dusties that are present at said barbecue that did not purchase anything. Y'all, stay your ass home because if you know to stay home and you get your ass out here and something happens to you, you will be the subject of my live coming up. And you'll get it worse because you already knew better. These folks are never going to change. They're always going to be shooting up places. They're always going to leave their children. They're always not going to consider the women and children in the community. You won't be considered if anything happens to you. You'll be lucky to get a blurb, a 1-inch blurb on a newspaper article about the fact that you lost your life because you went out to celebrate Memorial Day with a whole bunch of folks that didn't give a damn about you. Blackistan does not care about Black women. They don't care about Black children. They don't care about your well-being. They don't care about your resources, you having any protection. They don't give a fuck. When I tell you they don't give a fuck, that's exactly what I mean. So you take your ass out there if you want to, or the alternative is finding something else to watch on YouTube, lighting up your Netflix, getting your favorite food, sitting down, maybe having a drink if you're old enough to drink, and chill the fuck out. I will be checking back in on y'all periodically. And if I see you in these YouTube streets straddling the fence, I'm going to push your monkey ass over. Y'all have a great goddamn weekend. Everybody that needs me knows how to get in touch with me. If you need the Discord link, you know that you have to join the Patreon and then you get the link and all that good stuff. I say the same shit every week. And I love y'all to pieces. Peace out.